Welcome to this communication tutorial, also known as ET Pro tutorial part 2. And let's go straight to the point. On ET you can use Ventrilo, TeamSpeak or Mumble, for example, to communicate. And if you don't know what they are, those programs, you can just Google it. And if you have any problems to use them, just Google. There is many tutorials on the internet. And how to communicate during scrims? Well, it's very simple. You should always be answering for 2 questions. Where and how many. And if you have recognized what classes enemies are, you can of course tell it for others. And engineers are especially important to tell. So that's it. And now let's take a look how to call different places. And let's take, for example, Gold Rush, the first stage. So if you see 2 enemies at main, you can just tell that 2 at main, or 2 enemies at main. So that's very easy. And if you have recognized them, just assume that they are medic and engineer. You can just tell that medic engi at main. And always try to keep your infos very short and accurate. So for example, medic engi at main. It's pretty short and very accurate. So that's very nice. And now let's take a look how different places names can be changed when their state changed. And let's take Gold Rush as an example. So here at first stage there is main way, side or RCP and back way. Those 3 are the main ways. And then there is of course some miscellaneous names like corner and barrels or tank and whatever. And then the second stage, as you can see, the back way has changed to main way. And then there is side way and ammo way and spawn way and some miscellaneous names like lighthouse, CP room, under CP and so on, whatever. And then the third and last stage, there is long way, bridge or main, and under bridge or truck. And then there is first arch, second arch and third arch, and old MG and bank and behind bank and boxes or third arch boxes, whatever, and that marketplace or jungle, trees, whatever you want to call it. Okay, that was the practical part. Now let's take a look why it's so important to have communication. So no matter what is the map or objective, there is always some intervals between you and the enemy when the enemy spawns. The first interval is communication. You get the earliest informations about enemies via communication. And if there is no communication, it's like playing half-blind. I mean, of course you have your brains or game sense, and you are watching spawn times, like, okay, 10 seconds has passed since enemy spawned, so if they are going that way, they are there and there now. But you can't be sure are they going that way. So then there comes your own senses, seeing and hearing, but before you can trust in those senses, enemies are pretty close, so you can't control the game so well. And tada! Here we are on the most important thing, controlling the game. And that includes 2 main things. The first one, where are the enemies? You should always know where are the enemies. The second one, watching spawn times. You should always be watching your spawn time and enemy spawn time. And when you combine those 2 things, I mean where are the enemies and watching spawn times, then you can do right things at the right time. But that is something what I can't teach you, it just requires a lot of practice. But I can give you a little bit help on this where are the enemies part. So you should have some kind of mind map about that map what you are playing on your head. And you need to be updating it all the time. I mean, let's take a look on this picture. As you can clearly see, it's the first stage of Gold Rush, defensive side. So yes, the mind map can be something like this. It has only a main ways, and first there is nothing, but when the game starts, maybe someone tells you that there is 2 enemies at the side way, and at the same time you see 1 enemy at main, so then you update it, and it's like this. Yep, and when the game keeps going on, you just keep updating your mind map on your head. And let's continue this one. So when a couple of seconds pass, someone tells that there's 2 enemies at back. So you would update again your mind map, so it might look like this. And so on and so on. So you just keep updating the mind map through the whole game. And when you also know how fast enemies are moving, and you are watching spawn times, and you know some spot places and so on. So you can control the game pretty nicely. I mean, you know where the enemies are and where they are going and what they will probably do. So you can be ready to prevent whatever they will do, and you can do your own thing pretty easily. So that's about controlling the game. It really makes your life easier. So thanks for watching and see you.